This is just a really quick beginner's guide to common errors in Inkstitch for beginners. Number one, troubleshooting object is image. This object is an image. I just pulled it in. It is a PNG. In order to fix that, you must do a path, trace bitmap. On this one, single scan will probably suffice. Multiple scan will give you better quality. Once you have your scanned, this is the scanned in objects. Path is the scanned path. Image is the original image that needs to go away. Just like that, we now have a fixed image. The troubleshoot image problem is gone. Number two, border crosses itself, troubleshoot. This is the image that I just did a trace bitmap on. The next problem that will show up is border crosses itself. In this one, it tells you exactly what to do to fix it. Extensions, Inkstitch, fill tools, break apart, fill objects. Before you do that, go into fill and stroke. Click the image in fill and stroke in stroke paint. Make sure this icon right here is selected. Once you make sure that is selected, now we're going to get rid of our troubleshoot. Then we're going to click on the path, which is that one. Do extensions, Inkstitch, fill tools, break apart, fill objects. Now instead of one path, we have two now. Problem should be solved. All shapes are valid. Problem number three, layers. Inkscape has layers, and it also has objects. When we talk about layers, we're actually talking about objects. We don't work in layers. We work in objects. The reason that we say layer is because under objects, you see layer, and then we have different paths inside that layer number one. Very confusing. Not sure why Inkscape went that route, but they did. So when you hear somebody talking in Inkscape or Inkstitch, talking about layers, they're referring to objects layers, which you can get to from the path, from the menu on top. Go to object, objects. That brings up your objects layers. Number four, too many nodes. If I click on this item right here, look at all the nodes that it has. A couple of hundred probably. I'm just going to click the object, go to path, simplify. Now we have the exact same image and a lot less nodes. Now it's something we can work with much easier. Number five, you're working with satin stitches. And after you've made your satin stitch, you get the dreaded butterfly effect. That is the dreaded butterfly effect. Simply put, it is one rail is going up, the other rail is going down. I can redraw this and make both rails go down, or I can just pick one of the rails, go into path, hit reverse. Now it'll stitch out properly. Beautiful satin stitch. You took the time and effort to make a satin stitch letter or words, only to realize after the fact that you should have run one of the rails in a different direction. Such as, I have two jump stitches. ugly. Jump stitches are ugly. So to fix that, I needed that part right there to start at the bottom and at the top where it can continue the other one down, and that one needs to start at the bottom and go up. So easy fix. We're going to go in, we're going to select just this one right here, just this one rail, or one satin stitch rail. You go path, reverse. That's going to reverse it just like that. It's going to start from the bottom and go up instead. I need to do the same thing on this one. So path, reverse. Now let's take a look at that letter again. Much better. Flipping the satin rails. You made a nice letter P. Isn't it pretty? Let's see what it looks like when we stitch it out. Looks pretty good. Satin stitch looks pretty good. Then you got a jump stitch. When this satin rail on the left side gets done, it's ending on the top left, and then the rounded part of the P is beginning on the bottom right. You really want both of those to meet somewhere close by, as in at the top right of the left hand rail and at the top of the round part. If we go to params and we watch the satin column, we get up here at the top, you see that it's ending on that left side. We want it to end on the right side. So let's go ahead and do that first part. Select that left hand satin rail, go into extensions, Inkstitch, satin tools, flip satin column rails. So now if we just do that one, you see when it gets to the top, it will be ending on the top right side instead of the top left side. Now the cursor is right here on the top right hand side. So part one down. We want to do the same exact thing on this one because it's starting on that bottom left of the inside. We want it to start on the top left of the outside. So we're going to do the same thing again. Extensions, Inkstitch, satin tools, flip satin column rails. So now when we stitch it out, we no longer have that ugly jump stitch. Much better. That's all for now. Thanks for watching.